You hear people say it, you watch others achieve it, but how is everyone actually doing it? How do you really change your life? Get your dream job, that perfect relationship, or leaving one behind, living in your favorite city, waking up inspired every day, actually living your life, not letting life simply pass you by. I'm Samantha, and I'm going to share with you how I went from making under $10,000 a year, overstaying in an unhealthy marriage, and waking up miserable each day, unhappy that my life felt stalled, to making six figures comfortably a year, living in my dream city, and being an independent dream chaser. Now waking up each day to a life full of possibilities. To be honest, when I first started to put in the work to changing my life, I truly wasn't doing it consciously. I wasn't waking up to a checklist of items that I could tick off one by one to become a better person, a healthier, wealthier version of myself. It actually took me years to realize I was putting the work in, years to realize one small change put me on that trajectory to change my entire life. Good morning. Just got up and started doing my morning routine, and I love my morning routine, and it's so funny to flash back on Samantha from, I don't know, 4 years ago maybe, because I was always the person that said, I am a night owl, I work better at night. And I mean, I would stay awake until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I would sleep in the mornings, and then when I got up, I just kind of stumbled to my office and start working. To do my workouts at night, it'd be like 9 o'clock p.m. and I'd be like, all right, I can do some yoga, or like back in the day it was like kickboxing and Jillian Michaels 30-day shred, things like that. But I just most definitely was not a morning person. I have really come to enjoy my morning routine, and it starts with even just my alarm going off. I actually got a hatch. You can see it in my background here on my nightstand table. But I got a hatch probably last year, maybe not quite a year ago, and it's really made a big difference for me. Not only falling asleep, I'll put on like some soothing sounds, but also when I wake up to like the rainfall and the light that kind of gradually gets a little bit brighter, and I just feel like I wake up in a more peaceful manner. It also helps me have my phone out of reach instead of having an alarm on my phone, which I would sleep with it right next to me, and I'd be grabbing my phone at all hours of the night. I now sleep with my phone in the like hallway bathroom behind me, so it's not easily accessible to me, but I still feel like, you know, I'll wake up at a decent time, even though my body usually wakes up even before my alarm. But just in case, I know that I always have that. One thing I started doing also was having my blinds halfway open. I have 2 really large windows in my bedroom, and it can get so bright in here. And I usually, you know, would sleep with them fully closed, but I had a friend say that where she's from, they sleep with their blinds open and, you know, kind of like wake up with the sun. And I was like, that seems like a fun idea. So I usually lower my blinds only about halfway now. So when I wake up, not only am I waking up to the hatch and like the gradual light, but I'm also waking up actually to sunlight. And I feel like it just puts me in a better mood. It gets me more motivated to get up, because you see, I live in a pretty nice climate. I can't complain. So I usually am waking up to the sun every day, and not necessarily like dark and cold and dreary days. And I feel like that has given me like a little extra kick. I started doing that a few months ago, and I really, really love it. I also do some stretches in bed. This is something that I started doing a little bit more recently when I started having some health issues, digestion struggles, just gut health in general. I did just recently get a diagnosis of adrenal PCOS, which I'll be talking about in more of my videos and what I've done to try to help my symptoms and heal from those. But I like to do some stretches in bed, especially like twisting, which kind of helps like start the digestion process. And then along those lines, I also do my tongue scraper in the morning. Digestion starts in the mouth, and it helps remove like any bacteria. And once I started tongue scraping, like I truly can't stop. I also like to do things, of course, like my full skincare routine in the morning, sunscreen, moisturizer. I also do a little bit of lymphatic drainage. I open up my lymph nodes in my neck, and then I'll add my moisturizer to my neck, and then just run my fingers down, because I retain a lot of fluid, especially in my face. And then I do also use an ice roller to once again help with the inflammation, the lymphatic drainage. It can also help with redness, you know, just puffiness, that sort of thing. So those are a few of my favorite things that I love to do in the morning. I do also complete my workouts in the morning, and I try to get outside for a walk, usually with my dog, and just try to have sunlight pretty first thing in the morning. I do take some supplements. I try to have like a greens, I use like a greens powder. Mine is from Bloom. So I enjoy that. I usually have a couple dates in the morning because those are high in fiber. So usually on an empty stomach, I also have some dates. I've tried, especially with the PCOS diagnosis, is not having caffeine or a lot of sugar on an empty stomach because that can stress the hormones, and I am already super stressed. So I like that a lot of doctors I've spoken to, or like dietitians or nutritionists that I've seen give advice, have all pretty much said like, it's not that you have to give up your Starbucks or your coffee or whatever it is. Just try to have something else in your system first. So that's what I focus on in the mornings, because sometimes usually around like 9 or 10 is when I run out to do errands, and that is when I usually stop at a Starbucks for my iced chai. I like to take my mornings too to do any sort of cleaning. I usually pick one area of focus and I tidy that up in the morning. And I'm usually awake between 6 and 7 a.m. and I try not to start my workday until 9 a.m. Something that I've tried to implement over the past few months here, because instead of just waking up and immediately getting into my office and start working, I'll get sucked in by emails or just whatever it is that I have going on that day, and then I forget everything else, and then my apartment gets super messy super quickly. So I'm always trying to focus on, even if it's just one little tiny area that I can do, to do something in the morning to help tidy up and just start the day with a little bit of a clearer space, and I feel like that gives me a clearer mind. So just trying to take my morning routine to focus on me and not necessarily like my work or really anyone else. Like, it's all about me. I, of course, do my journaling. I write down affirmations in the morning. I also fill out my planner every day and my to-do list, what I have to get done, and looking at my schedule. But I try to take at least the first hour and really focus on me and my health. And I love my morning routine, and I think that it has made such a difference from when I first started implementing it to where I am now. I've really been able to see a huge difference because, you know, even in the beginning, it was only a 5 or 10 minute routine, and now I've built it up to pretty much, I can do like that solid hour. But that's an hour to focus on you. It's an hour to focus on your goals. And it's an hour to, you know, look at the goals that you have written down or your to-do list that you have written down and get a better vision. And I think doing that really helped me go inwards for a few years there when I was really struggling and I was really at my bottom. Able to put a focus on myself for just a little bit, I think was really eye-opening to me, and what started to show me like, here's an area of life where I need to make a change, here's an area of life where I am not happy with, and actually start to plan what I could do to make those changes. So my morning routine is definitely always a big one for me, but now it's definitely time for me to get into the office. So you might be thinking, okay, you created a morning routine. That's it? What if I don't like mornings? I have a new baby. I work nights. No, it's not my morning routine that was the catalyst to changing my life. It definitely put changes in motion, but something had to come first. But what could possibly come before a morning routine? Actually changed my life? Being aware of what I was consuming and changing my habits. And by consumption, I don't mean what I was eating or drinking. We live in the digital age, surrounded by technology no matter where we look. We have all the information we could ever ask for and at our fingertips 24/7, from people and places all around the world, to how to perfect your cut crease, what to wear on a first date, how to tie a tie, and just kittens being cute. We can find entertainment, be educated, or connect with random strangers thanks to technology. But with this abundance of content out there, it also brings a choice. What do you consume on a daily basis? What are you watching, listening to, reading? What are you consuming daily and probably subconsciously creating habits around? Is it something that inspires you, motivates you, makes you want to look at your life differently, makes you want to dream bigger, work harder, and be better? I didn't realize my shift in habits until I reflected years later, spending my time catching up on celebrity news and watching YouTube content on drama, fighting, and why X is a terrible person, why Z is being canceled this month. And at some point, I started watching videos on healthy habits. I listened to podcasts from other successful female business owners. I read financial books. I started consuming content that inspired me and motivated me, educated me. From there, I created a morning routine. I opened a high yield savings account. I learned that the money sitting in my Roth IRA wasn't actually growing because I hadn't invested it. To be clear, I'm not saying give up reality TV, but I try to follow the 80-20 rule, or at least 70-30 in most areas. I can't eat clean 7 days a week. I don't want to make my bed and clean my kitchen countertop every single day. Just being honest. I read more fiction than personal development. I love listening to sports podcasts, and I enjoy indulging in a margarita and nachos. But my emphasis is surrounding myself by what pushes me, what motivates me, what makes me think I can do that. I can hit that goal. I can achieve that. So that's it. That's how I actually changed my life. And it wasn't making big, drastic changes all at once. In fact, it was so minor, I didn't even realize the major impact that it was having on my life and how it was actually changing my life over the course of several years. Maybe if you're watching this, it doesn't have to take you years to start making a change. You can start it right now. What better time than the new year to start? If you're looking for suggestions on tools, books, a podcast, and more, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. I also have a free download available on my website, which is bysamanthamarch.com. And this is a 31-day healthy habits calendar. So every single day in the month of January, there is a healthy habit or goal to focus on already written down for you. Strive for as many as you can, do it in order or not. It is your life. But it's simply there for you as a free resource, a guide to give you a little bit of extra motivation to stay inspired in 2023. I sincerely hope that you took away something from this video. Welcome to a new year. I'm excited to stay inspired with you all throughout the year of 2023, and I'll see you in my next video.